Well, we're back with the latest update. I've finished rebuilding the bracket so that the machine will hold two S9's now instead of one inside the furnace. But I'm just giving you a quick update to show you where we're at. Turns out my second unit that I had was actually had a dead hashboard, so the previous numbers aren't very different from what we see on the current machine. So just as a recap, previously we had two miners, one running inside the furnace at 1545 average terahash per second, temperatures at around 90 degrees, and the efficiency was in around 89 to 90, jumping around, and the output at 1.38 watts. Where the other miner that was running purely on its own with its own fans externally, making a whole lot of noise, was at 10.64 terahash per second, around 85 degrees temperature. Efficiency very similar, 88 to 90 watts per terahash, and it was running at 945 watts. Now the machine has been updated. I now have two miners inside the furnace, and these are my new numbers. So again, S9 number 1, still roughly the same numbers at around 90 to 91 degrees C. The real hash rate at about 15.5 terahash per second. Efficiency 89 to 90 watts per terahash, using 1.38 kilowatts. So again, no changes there. Looking at the second unit with the dead hash board, so only two hash boards working, operating roughly the same way, right? Around 88 watts per terahash, 10.6 terahash per second, similar temperature, 89.1, so 89 to 90 degrees, and using 940 watts. So looking at this, you can see that putting in the second miner inside the machine did not change the performance at all of the machines independently. What I did do is, with the addition of the second machine, I had to bump up the speed of the fan inside the furnace from number 1 to a number 2 of 5. And now we'll head over to the machine and see how it's running. So it's a little bit noisier than it was before, but very low. It's, when I measured it with my phone, it was about 45 decibels, so it's not that bad. Looking at cold air side, we're looking at 21.6 kilometers per hour in terms of wind speed. And because this furnace is running exposed in my basement here, it's actually pretty warm at 27.3. That's the cool air side of things. But to show you the change in temperature from 27, I'm going to set it up here in front. You can see wind speeds are still roughly the same, but in this case it's about 24 to 25 kilometers per hour. And temperature is quickly increasing. It takes a few seconds here. It's already at 32 degrees. For our American friends, that's about 90 degrees Fahrenheit and still climbing almost. It's 92. So for the sake of passing time here a little bit, when I had this running after a while, I got this up to, after sitting for a bit, it got up to about 35 degrees C. So that's an increase in 6.5 degrees in running the units. So again, right now I'm measuring at the bypass here so that the cold air still comes out from the top here. Hot air would have been coming out here in this section, but it's completely stopped because of the bypass, and it's coming out down here instead. In the winter, when you want to run and I open up the bypass, this exhaust port drops down to about 2 kilometers per hour, so almost nothing, and all the hot air will come out of here. in which case right now the bypass is locked in, so you'll see no input. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick heads up, see the updates anyways. My next step, I'm going to bump up the fan speed and really cool down the machines and see if I can start overclocking them a little bit. But as you can see, it's just a simple fan unit here. This is more than enough to start heating your home with. Same size as your regular furnace. You'll take your warm air and still bring it up to another 5 degrees. If you can imagine, if you have cooler air, that temperature difference would be that much greater. And it's still not that loud. Talk to you guys soon with the next update.